Gameplay! Mini War Gaming's Beat Matt Batrep!
Welcome back to Beat Matt Batrep, Episode 6, Dan vs. myself in a rematch series. We're doing Orks Turn 4 here, and we gotta really see what the orcs are gonna do in order to come back against everything that's happened. First thing that happens is the boys jump back into their truck, and they move a little too far so the truck can't move. The shooter boys are moving into position. They're gonna open fire on this Turbogon and hope to take it out, so that it can't cause them any more problems. And that's really all the moving they have. Now there is hit and run with these guys, so they have to roll 2 or less. They have to make an initiative test. He just wasn't quite on there, so he didn't make that, so he wasn't able to hit and run, which is too bad for him, because he could have moved out and killed that Trygon. And now he's shooting like crazy, and I make my save, and he does not hurt the Turbogon. And then the big shooter fires and misses. The other big shooter fires and actually gets a wound, and then I have to roll a save, and I make it. It's a 3+ save. And so the Trygon stays alive, even though he only has 1 wound left. It's the undefeatable Trygon. Now here's the interesting thing. Because he had assault down through cover, he actually had to make a difficult terrain test. So all his guys are initiative 1, just like my guy. So I get to hit at the same time. So I did my attacks first. And I wounded him twice. Or once. Yeah, I think it was just once. And then he hits me back with his bajillion attacks. And with just half of his attacks, he does 2 wounds. And then he does his other half of his attacks. And he inflicts a few more wounds, which I save. Then he gets his Power Claw, which only hits twice, but wounds twice, and I ignored that, ignores the armor. And then, because I lost and I'm fearless, I took extra wounds and I failed those saves, and so he managed to kill the Turbogon with all those shooter boys. So they finally were able to kill something. There's just a couple rounds where they weren't doing much, firing at Gene Stealers and pretty much all cover saves being made and everything else. So now we got this multi-assault, where the Gene Stealer starts and he doesn't do anything to the truck, and then the rest of the Gene Stealers are attacking the Defcoptus. That's what their name escaped me there for a second. They managed to kill one and inflict another wound, so one is gone. Then a Trygon gets to go next, and he hits the truck, and he does a bunch of penetrating hits, and I think he does like 5 penetrating hits, and then he does a +1 to all of those. So he wrecks it, and it just wrecks. It doesn't careen or anything and explode. It just wrecks. So now the Defcoptus get to hit the Gene Stealers back. They actually hit a lot. I need 5s to wound, and as you can see, they only managed to wound once. I failed that. That makes it a tie combat. Actually, no, that makes it I beat him by 1. He fails his leadership, and he fails the initiative, and the Defcoptus are destroyed. So on the Tyranids turn, all that's left is that truck full of boys and the shooter boys. So it's really not looking very good. So the Turbogon jumps up, and the Gene Stealers all move forward, all running, so that's why they're moving 9 inches there. And the Doom of Malantai moves forward as well, and he gives feel no pain to those Gene Stealers. So everybody just moves up to engage these shooter boys. The truck boys are too far away, so I'm going to try to shoot them down from a distance with the Turbogon. And everybody's moving up. Even the Turbogon, or the Trygon, runs across the hill, as you're going to see in a second here. And the one group of Gene Stealers in the back kind of hug the burning truck so they can hold that objective, because this is an objectives game. I don't want to forget that. It's a critical thing there. It doesn't matter how much you're winning. If you don't get the objectives, you don't win. So the Turbogon opens fire on the truck, hits it a few times, but does not manage to even glance it. Next, we have the Doom of Malantai firing in with his Strength 10 AP 1 blast, and he gets a direct hit. I think he hits 7 boys in this attack. And so the 1 is not a wound, and then he gets cover saved against his attack, and he fails. He gets a couple of them, so 3 of his orcs die. Now I lose D3 wounds, but then I gain the number of wounds that I killed, so I lost a couple wounds and then went back up to 10 wounds again. So that Doom is doing very well. He's got lots of wounds in there. He's killed a lot of guys, and now all the Gene Stealers are charging these shooter boys, who are in serious trouble because they're getting hit from 2 squads. And we'll see what happens to them, see if they can survive all of these attacks at initiative 6. So he's just working all his guys in there as best as he can. So I'm doing all my attacks here. I'm at the higher initiative, so I get to go first. I have to roll 3+ in order to hit, and I get a bunch of 1s and 2s, but then I have to roll 4+ to wound, and 6s are rending, and there's a lot of rending attacks in there, and he fails a lot of saves, so a lot of his guys go down. Now the remaining guys all focus on the smaller group of Gene Stealers, hoping to take it down completely, and maybe do wound allocation on the other one. So the small group attacks, and let's see how many they manage to kill here. I think they managed to kill a couple with that. I fail the saves. Once again thinking I had a 6+ save. I think for this entire game I played as a 6+ save on my Gene Stealers, although it didn't in the end really matter. The Power Claw attacks and kills the last 2 of them. I still win combat. He fails his morale check, he boss pulls and kills one of his orcs, and he has to roll double 1s again. Can he do it again? He can't. So he fails it. We do the initiative roll-off, I beat him, and those guys die. So we're now at the end of round 4. All that he has left is his truck full of boys. And I've got my Trigon with 1 wound, a Turvagon fully loaded, my Doom of Malantai, and a few groups of Gene Stealers. Even though they're all down to lower strength in numbers, there's a lot of guys there. So clearly, there's no way for the Orks to even really get a draw, because he can at most cover 2 objectives. He's just not going to be able to do it. And so, wisely, this is what happens.
Concede.
That's right. Dan realizes there's no way to do it, so he concedes.
No $25 gift certificate for Dan. Failed in the rematch. It was pretty good though. That was a pretty close game. I have to admit, and once again, this is the second battle report in a row, that on turn 2 I thought I was done. Actually, in this case, the beginning of turn 2 I thought I was done. I knew I had some hitting power left in me, but I didn't realize I had that much hitting power. The Doom of Malantai worked incredibly well. Obviously there's things I can counter it very well, something that's a power weapon that just would insta-kill it, even with its 3+ invulnerable. You know, you can do enough wounds to it, it will die. But in this case, he just came in perfectly, he landed perfectly, he moved perfectly, he sucked wounds perfectly, and then put that with the Gene Stealers coming in the right side, and then it was pretty hard. They put up a good fight. I think turn 2 was just like, was crazy, and then turn 3 didn't really help. But it was a solid game up to the end. There really isn't that much left on my side. So I have to say congratulations, Dan, to losing again. Obviously, he doesn't have what it takes to take on the Tyranids. And on top of that, he's going away for the summer, so he won't get a chance to do a rematch until September. So until then, he's going to have to, have these nightmares of the Tyranids just devouring his children and his family and everything else, and taking their genes into the pool that allows the Tyranids to get better. So I do appreciate the fact that he is a good tactician, so that'll add to the gene pool a lot. So that did work out quite well. But anyway, we'll probably see another rematch in this in a few months. It was a great game. It was really close. I really enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
I did.
You did. Okay, good. But no $25 gift certificate, but because he did come out, he will get another $10 in points. So you lose enough games and you get $25 anyways. Yeah, maybe that's the strategy. Okay, anyway, this is Matthew from Mini Wargaming. Oh, yeah. This is Matthew from Mini Wargaming. I'll see you at the next Beat Matt Batrep, and good game, and happy wargaming.
Visit miniwargaming.com to see our videos 1 month early.